What's goody? What's good? Hi, I'm Amber. I am the A.
I'm Brittany. I'm the B.
And this is the A and B conversation. So see your way in. Okay, let's just get started right here. I want to give you a heads up, a disclaimer, an asterisk before we get things started, okay? Because I can already tell you're really chill today. My pre-workout is still coursing through my veins, all right? So I think it's going to be giving role reversal. I'm just going to put that out there because I'm turned today for whatever reason. I have a lot of
I'll match you.
energy.
You know I match vibes. I'll match you, babe.
You're very chill right now. You're quite chill. You don't match vibes because usually I'm chilling. You're like, oh my God!
Well, I want to match your vibe, but you know what it is? You make me so excited. Like you and Rob be like, relax. Like I'll be bouncing off the walls at night and he'd be like, if only niggas knew how goofy you was. I'm like, niggas know.
Oh my God. Niggas definitely know. Niggas know. We're here. Today, my look is inspired by not my hair. My hair is just my hair.
The hair is fire. The hair is inspired by...
I grabbed the first. My hair is not inspired by anyone. This wig?
I was going to make up the Lil' Kim video. Remember the Lil' Kim video when they had...
Oh, no. This wig makes me think of Vivian from Pretty Woman.
That's accurate.
This is what I feel like when I wear this wig. And so it's actually right on par that my makeup was inspired by a TBT on Fly Black Girls I saw of Heather Hunter.
Yes.
And if you don't know who Heather Hunter is, she is a porn star. She was the top Black female porn star in the 80s and 90s and went on to become a Soul Train dancer. But I know all this from the caption of the photo. I mean, I knew who Heather Hunter was, but I didn't know she was a Soul Train dancer.
But I feel like, is it just me or like, obviously this is past her era per se, but like, bitch, video bitches? I used to want to be a video bitch. like you watch Beautiful Women. Those were the real, like, come on. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, new school girls aspire to be IG models, which is
that's true,
video vixens' children. Actually, quite literally in some cases.
The offspring, probably literally. But yeah, no, I remember watching all the videos and being like, damn, she's so beautiful. I remember like, this is of course when I still didn't wear makeup, by the way. Like, had no idea the facade of the industry, but I was like, damn, they're so beautiful. Oh my God. So
I love that you want to be a video vixen, and I wanted to be Hype Williams.
You Hype Williams. Right, bitch.
I was directing the videos. Oh, cheers. We're both having a sip of our drink.
Woo!
Cup sweaty, so you know it's cold, so you know it's real. Yeah.
Facts. I don't usually like ice because I'm a demon, but I had to go for the ice.
Ice me up, honey. Ice me up. What do you drink? I'm having a very seasonal fall cocktail of a little honey crisp apple cider mixed with a really fancy rum that what's the name of it? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. I don't drink rum.
Yeah, let's share it. Put us on for those that don't watch us and listen to us only.
Oh my God, where'd it go? I lost it, but it starts with a Z. Zacapo. It's something like that. Wow. It's something like that. It's a good one. It's delicious. Very fall. Honey crisp apple cider from Trader Joe's, of course.
Trader Joe's, please sponsor my girl. Please. I've never been more inclined to go to Trader Joe's until I met you. I swear to God. And there's one by my house and I just...
What?
Yeah.
It's not like go in there. You better go get the kids some organic snacks. What's wrong with you?
I do. And you know what? I love their dark chocolate Reese's. They're not Reese's, but peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I know.
Bitch, what? Me and Rob could eat them shits for dinner, nigga. Like,
I literally just bought yesterday. I was in there yesterday. I know it seems like every week I'm in Trader Joe's yesterday, but I am.
Every week we buy.
Every week, yes. I have to go do my little haul. I got the double chocolate sheet cake.
Ooh, delicious. I love chocolate cake.
Me too. I was coming off of my period. That's probably the only reason I got it. Normal Amber would not have just bought a fucking chocolate cake. Just
Oh
keep
no,
it 100.
bitch, I'm a psycho. I love
Oh no, I
chocolate
couldn't
cake.
do that. But here we are. Again.
Here we are, guys.
Oh my God.
We're here.
Wait, did you say what you were drinking?
Oh, I'm drinking. It's giving a little high-low again. I'm giving some Japanese whiskey, Hibiki. I believe that's how you say it. Oof, Hibiki, whatever. And of course, a little Tropicana.
We got to get my girl some lemonade. Better mixer options.
No, you know what it is? Because I'd be like, I gotta go. And then the kids I'll be like, bitch, when I come upstairs to do this, I have a shopping cart of all of my knickknacks. Like a homeless bitch. I have a
Every
light
time we pod, you bring out your shopping cart. You did that when I was in New York. You had your shopping cart.
I love my shopping. You know. That's the first thing you
A and B, and the C is for cart, and the C is for cart.
Your shopping cart. The C is for cart. C is for shopping.
Yeah. So as you guys know, I go to Trader Joe's every week, and usually I was telling somebody this. Maybe I was telling y'all this. At this point, I don't know what I tell you and what I don't.
Life's a blur.
Woo! I go in Trader Joe's and it's like giving vibes, you know what I'm saying? Like how people kind of go into Target and they're like, oh, Target, I can't spend more than $200. I go into Trader Joe's and I'm like, oh, $200. Relax, right? But I only do that on my rich weeks. You know, I got, as a freelancer, you got rich weeks and I got welfare weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like in any... in any given month.
Welfare.
Wealth and welfare. Like we go back and forth as a freelancer. Like nobody wants to like, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Net 30 should be illegal. Net 60 should be illegal. And net 90, you should just go to jail. Just go to jail at the point of 90. Because for me, what I've never gotten in all of this is that's like me walking into Trader Joe's, filling my cart up with shit, getting to the register and being like, hey, my boy, I got you in 30 days.
Well, here's the thing. That's how it originated. It originated because businesses...
Here she go with her history facts.
Well, you know, I'm trying to do a doc on this. So apparently, businesses, it was like basically like taking out a line of credit for 30 days. And so the more net 30 accounts you had, the longer line of credit you would get. And then I also found out recently that, let's say the payment terms are net 30, but they pay later. They get interest, like they get more money the longer they wait to pay us. So that's why a lot of these...
I've heard that. That I know.
Yeah. But just for those that don't know the industry and that want to break into the industry and all of the things, net 30 means that you will not get paid until 30 days of sending your invoice, which is another misconception. We think it's 30 days from the day of work, but it's 30 days from the invoice date.
And they will absolutely pretend like, like I've sent people invoices just because since we're both signed to the same agency, but since I'm signed, like if I do something where I have to invoice on my own, unless I do it right then and there, I forget because I'm not used to invoicing at this point, right? So there have been times where I've invoiced people like dead ass like 2 months after the job. Girl. And you know, that's my fault. I fucked up. But then they'll still take the liberty to net 30, net 60 that. And I'm like, are you just going to pretend like, fuck the date of when the job was. You're just going to pretend like today is when the clock starts?
Yes, babe. That's what they do. And the problem is they don't state that. And there's likely not a contract. Like, so what I have also learned and what I'm like, we got to do better is that there's never really any agreements discussed until the invoice is sent. And then you read the terms and conditions. And so then you don't even know a lot of these companies' payment terms. Like I remember, bitch, I waited for a check from Revlon for 7 months. And I was so offended because I was, this is just before I think I got signed with actually I'm lying. It was like an event that didn't require press. So I was like, you know what? Y'all don't even, it was like a friend that worked at a publicist for whatever. So, and I sent them a check. I sent them an invoice, and I kept like harassing the finance department, AP, whatever. And by the time it hit like month 7, I was like, yo, I like sent them. So in New York, also put a pin in that. So in New York, there's something called the Freelancers Isn't Free Act. It's the only act in this country. California is trying to adapt it. But basically, because a lot of gig economy is in New York, they have lawyers that will fight for you and pay all these fees for you, because like I don't have the lawyers that Revlon has. So my $1,500 is a dub. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so what you do is you fill out a form and you say, this is the client, this is the contact, this is how much they owe me, this is when the job was, you give all the details. And it's not just for like artists, it's like for construction workers and shit like that, whatever. But the second they get that letter, all of a sudden these niggas want to pay. So this bitch hits me back and she's like, oh, can you just send me a PayPal invoice? I'll pay you on my corporate card. Bitch, that was always an option?
That's happened to me. That's happened to me with jobs through the agency because, you know, we have a small agency, so the accounts payable department is small. So like there'll be times, we always gonna be on top of our money more than anybody. Right?
Always.
It's your money, like you should be.
They be mad.
Actually.
I'd be like, you're missing this, and this.
I'm like, you know, there have been times where I've been like, hey, like, where is this? And then they'll chase and you know what I'm saying? The company's giving them the runaround. And I'll be like, all right, no. Like, this is fucked up. Like, this is stupid. Like, hey, I'm about to go to Twitter. Like, we need to figure it out.
Yes.
And niggas will be like, okay, they just paid us right now. Like, we're about to put it in your account right now. And I'm like, why can't every time I get paid be that easy? Like, why are we still pretending like niggas gotta mail an invoice to the client?
Right.
Like, everybody, like everyone,
right.
like clients, like everyone still pretends like that. When, I mean, I've literally been on jobs. I guess it's like agency pros and cons, but I've literally been on jobs with people that are not signed that get their checks the same day.
Stop, get out.
Really? You ain't never been on the set, and you probably haven't. You didn't peep it because they'll do it like kind of on the low. It's not like everyone come get your check. You know what I'm saying? But it's and I'll see people getting paid like production jobs, and I'm like, wow, look at you getting paid today. And then my shit'll come like months later. Granted, I probably got paid more than that person, but those people.
And it also sucks because, right, also that's probably why they didn't, you know. But
I don't give a fuck.
The agency part of it. Yeah, no, it's fucked up because I've definitely done like I tried to decipher between the job. Like, I'm like, this is not really that important. I'll handle the billing myself. And then you always almost like, okay, so then there's the catch-22, right? Because then I always regret it because I don't want to do the chasing, right? And then one thing I will say, one time, Michael, something was like outstanding for so long and I was spazzing. Like, y'all got me fucked up. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's $50. That's my fucking $50. You know what I'm saying?
Literally. Like, I don't care. I don't care how much the amount is.
Because guess what? That babysitter, she gets paid it's principal.
It don't matter who gets paid what. It's principal, bro. I don't give a fuck about
it's principal. But my point is that babysitter get paid
Slavery
end of the day.
has been over, and I don't work for fucking free. That right. And fucking point.
And that's the point. And the problem, truthfully, is that what these companies, a lot of them, they think they're slick because, like, if their business is in a certain state, then those are the payment terms that are illegal in that state. So, like, in New York, anything past net 30 is illegal. But if I'm getting paid from a company that's in Los Angeles or Chicago or Texas or whatever, based there, if they late, I just gotta deal with it. Or if their payment terms are net 60, I just gotta deal with it. I'm like, in New York, we don't do that. They be like, bitch, you will.
Right. And
it probably don't. Yeah, sorry, no, good.
No, what are you about to say?
I was gonna say, it don't help that the agency is probably based in LA too. So they like, bitch, you gonna get paid with the LA niggas get paid.
Also that, yes. Yeah. I don't know. And they started that shit. They started that 30-day shit after I moved. So I'm like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know those days. I've definitely chased checks in New York City for years.
And then there's that, like,
this is one time I did a job with Fendi. It was the high, like, at that time, it was the most I had got paid for a job. It was still like $1,500, but it was the most I had got paid.
No, but of course, stop.
And
That's like,
I was like, okay, like we gonna get it. Like, yes. And it's Fendi, like, shouldn't take long. You know, it was before I was signed. Was it?
And you'll get that fly asset, like all the things. You're like,
like it was like all the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was when I had first started like really like doing like BTS of stuff. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be fire. Like this is Fendi. They were launching F is for Fendi, which is like their younger platform. Like I did like all those opening whatever. And it came time for me to get paid. And you know, I sent the invoice. They were like, cool.
Right. You did all the right things.
Correct. And the people I had worked with were like, oh yeah, like, you know, they pay pretty fast, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward, maybe like 6 months later, I was still like, I had to go as far as to go on their website, go to the site index, go to the corporate fucking directory, find accounts payable, and reach out to the woman direct because the person whose contact I had no longer worked there. And so I had just been emailing and following up with no one. And I guess she didn't pass off her work. I don't know. And then once I fucking reached out and found this woman, she was like, okay, like I'm gonna see if I can get this approved, blah, 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 blah. And then I literally had to say to her, hello, imagine, I say you get paid every 2 weeks, right?
Period. Yeah, say that.
Imagine if you didn't get paid last week. Imagine if you didn't get paid last week for 6 months. What would you do? I literally have, you know, rent in New York City is expensive. I have rent to pay. I have bills to pay. Like, one, I shouldn't have to tell you all this.
Yeah, you know this.
I might need my fucking money. Yeah, I might need my money to buy a new pair of shoes. That has nothing to do with you. I did my job and I did it exceptionally fucking well.
Absolutely.
So pay me my money. I shouldn't have to chase you down. And they literally FedExed me a check like 2 days later.
Stop. But you know what's crazy? Speaking of that, I have emailed people like, so the asset has been published and it's past net 30. This means that as of this moment, I have worked for free. What's up? Like I have been so mad about this topic for so long because I just feel like the problem is the front facing part of the industry for us is like, oh, like niggas see we with this person and that person means money. Like literally I told you this before, but like I'm doing a children's book and my illustrator, this nigga in the email, I asked him, he basically wants me to pay him his balance, which is no problem. But it's always conveniently like I posted that I'm with Ed Sheeran. And it's like, oh, hey, I saw that photo bomb with Ed Sheeran. By the way, you know, if you want, you can just pay me now. I'm like, do you realize that Ed Sheeran money not coming for like 6 months? On nigga? Like, no.
But also like, I want people to also realize that one, these celebrities are not paying us direct. Usually they're not paying us out of their pocket. They don't even fucking know how much we're getting paid. They don't know where that money's coming from. They don't know if we've gotten paid. They don't know any of that. And they don't care because it's not their business.
Yep.
Honestly, it's the bitch that hired us business to stay on top of it. And they don't. You know what I'm saying? And also, especially like if somebody can be popping and hot and broke.
First of all, come on. We got to like.
Y'all do know that, right? Like not everybody.
Number one thing.
Not every celebrity has money for real.
And then you know what? And then you kind of resort, which I know I still work with like private clients and stuff. And like I do weddings and stuff like that. And I feel like on the good part of the catch-22, like they revere me so much because they know what caliber of work we deal with. So they're always like, oh, like, you know, whatever my rate is, they'll pay it and all of the things. But I shouldn't be moonlighting as a bridal artist. Like, I should never.
I'm not doing that.
No, well, you ain't got no kids
here. Like, no, what's the rate? No, I'm not doing that.
Oh no,
I'll just sit here and chill.
I think you've influenced me in a lot of great ways because not that I haven't said no. Don't get me wrong. Because some things for sure I'm like, no. But like, if it's a bad week and I'm in a creative mood, I might say yes to some shit. And then I'm like really learning, like for real through you, that I'm like, nah, that's not it. Like I have some bitch this week that she's a private client, but she's like insanely loaded. But the problem though is that when people do pay you direct, by the way, they think that like you work for them for real. And I'd be like, oh, no, baby, no.
Well, that's why and that's personally for me why once I started doing more celebrities, I should probably also start with like, I'm a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the only life I know is this freelance life. Like, I got out of college and I went straight into freelancing. Like, I've never had a steady job. I don't know. I've never had like a salary job or like anything like that, right? So like my whole existence when as an adult on my own is being uncomfortable and being like, ooh, where am I gonna get this money from? So that's why one, I have no problem with being like not doing that. But also that's why once I started working with celebrities, I stopped doing that kind of stuff more just because it was like, yeah, unfortunately, I might take a little tood from you, but you over here, girl, you're doing a lot. And why? I'm not taking that from you, sis. Like, ain't nobody's even gonna see what I'm doing. And this is literally just for money. Like, relax.
Literally just for money. Yeah.
No, thank you. So, over here, I'm like, all right, this, is gonna give me a little bit more, so I'll play with you. But yeah, no, I can't. I used to do a glam app. I mean, what was it called? Be Glammed. That was the last like kind of thing I did like that. But even that wasn't. There was some strange experiences in the beginning. In the beginning, now, but then because I was like one of like their first artists, so like in the beginning when it was just like Wild West, like everybody was fucking Uber X, like then that was crazy. There was no telling where you were gonna wind up, like, you know what I'm saying? But then they like started doing tiers, and I was obviously top tier.
Obviously, number one, bitch.
So I got to like pick and choose who I wanted, and I would get like those jobs would come first, but those were usually like the socialites and like the women with the money. I actually ironically worked with Mariah Carey through that app, but
girl.
Yeah, like that. Like I did that, and that was because that was instant money. It was quick,
right?
And then, like I said, like once it got to like tiers, the people who wanted the top tier, obviously that was the highest price, which was still only like $450 for hair and makeup. I'm pretty sure it was. Like that was like the top tier, but they were already, like they already felt like.
Yeah.
I am very important. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so they acted.
They think they drop in the bag.
Yes, they did.
Well, I've had some traumatic experiences for sure.
We know you have, haven't you?
I freelanced with Glam Squad in New York.
I did Be Glammed in New York. That's where I did Be Glammed at.
I never even knew Be Glammed was. So here's the thing. I met the alleged.
Not to cut you off. They started at like the same time. Glam Squad was first, but essentially it was like Uber X and Lyft. But like in the beginning when Uber X and Lyft both started, and Uber was kind of bigger, and it was like we could take Lyft out, but Lyft was like, you're not gonna fucking do shit.
Correct.
Be Glam didn't quite do you're not gonna fucking do shit. I don't feel like they were just kind of like
for real.
Meet me. Whereas Glam Squad's like, it's up. GSQ, we got products.
Like, yeah, but bitch, oof, like, and I have no problem saying these things on the record because it's already been a whole thing. People have had class action lawsuits with them. But I remember when I first started working with them, I was signed to Next. Oh no, I'm lying. But I was eventually signed to Next, but I was working with them. So it's obviously freelancer contract work, but they stay. I'm imagining it's the same as Be Glam. Like they still would pay you like every week or every couple days or however it works, right? So
I got paid the day after the job.
Oh no, nigga, we waited like a week, right? Or something like that. We definitely didn't get paid the same day. Like it was like whatever. No. So right. So basically what I'm saying is this was a job and these niggas used to pretend like it wasn't a job, but that's not the end of that. That's a whole nother conversation. But so I remember, one of my personal clients was a friend of or Alex. She was no longer the CEO after a point, but she was like the girl that co-founded Guilt or something like that. Mm-hmm. So like I did her glam, and then we like joked about something, and then they were just starting Glam Squad, and I think at the time when Glam Squad started in New York, it was just hair, and they were starting their makeup division. So she's like, oh, it's new, like, you know, you should blah, blah, blah. And I was like, sure. Like, mind you, this was like a long time ago. So I was okay with it. You know what I mean? In my mind, I'm like, oh, it's freelance gigs. Like, it's off the record. It's not a big deal. Bitch, I get there, and one of the directors or the director of makeup was like this girl that I worked with at Mac that fucking got fired for stealing, nigga. And I say, first of all, I love all people, but it prides me more that she was white and not a black woman. But and more so, not just that she was like white, like on some like, you know, regular, like she was like, I'm a theatrical actress. Like I am the quintessential, like, you know what I mean? Huh?
She was Anna Delvey.
She was Anna Yo, and she had ginger hair. She had ginger hair. I know. I told you my friend is Neff, right? The real Neff? That's another conversation.
No, you know what, Brittany? I'm not shocked at this point. Honestly.
I wish I knew her when all this was happening, though. That's for sure. But anyway, whatever. I'm making a long story long. So the point was, though, that like I continued to work with them. Like I peppered it in like my schedule, and then I got signed with an agency. At the time, the agency was terrible. I told you several times, like the agent herself, she was awful, whatever. So, but like they weren't getting me any jobs at the agency because I wouldn't do hair, right? So I fucking needed that Glam Squad check, like to pay my, you know, whatever little, I didn't have no kids at the time. So I was like, whatever. But bruh, these apps will have you fucked up because I remember spazzing on them. Like, luckily I knew the girl that started it, and I knew the girl that did some foul shit. So I think she never really liked to fuck with me because she knew that I knew what she knew and all the things. And I used to get upset when they would give me celebrities, like how you say you mentioned Mariah Carey. I've done like Nikki Hilton, and like I remember they used to try to give me what's that designer bitch? They used to try to give me some girl that was Rebecca Minkoff. And I spazzed on them. I was like, there's no reward. Because in Glam Squad, it wasn't tiers. So I was like, there's no reward for telling me that I'm the best and therefore I need to be basically your representative. I'm not getting paid more. Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, that's an insult. So yeah, got me fucked up. But people be dependent on them checks, and the hair people used to get paid less, and I used to feel awful for them. Because they doing the same traveling with the same bag, dealing with the same personalities.
It's true. Brittany got feelings for everybody.
You know, I got
don't. I mind my business.
I do. I be feeling bad because they really be like,
feel bad. Why I feel bad? I didn't make those prices, bitch. It's unfortunate.
No, you're right.
I didn't do that. I've been on plenty of sets where I'm like, wow, I know this hairstylist getting paid more than me. That's fine.
I am dead.
Well, no, but it's just, I'm like, wow, I know I'm getting paid more than a stylist. That's fine.
Oh, trust me, same. I did a gig and I asked my friend who's a photographer, I was like, what's your rate? Like, what's your day rate? And when he told me, I was like, you should increase that. Because they're not going to feel like they could pay my rate and your rate. Like, they going to be like, no.
No, yeah, but yeah. Yeah, people do like, you know, I mean, you got to do what you got to do on the side, right? Like, until you get to wherever you're trying to be or trying to go or be comfortable or like all this shit. And people should pay you immediately. People should pay you immediately. Like it does not make any sense.
When the service is rendered, I need the check.
I just don't get how people be confused when you like follow up about the check and they're like, oh my God, you haven't been paid. I'm like, you don't know that? You don't know that? So what if you booked me for a job and I showed up 6 months later? Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought it was net 6. I thought I could show up anytime from here within 60 days. I didn't know you needed me on that day.
Oh, honestly, to be fair,
also,
even if it was
usually the girls who are paying the less that take the longest to pay. Why is that? Like, usually it is the jobs where I'm like, this wasn't even $1,000 and I just had to chase you, or the agency just had to chase you down. I just got paid for something in January of this year that I did in December of 2020.
Stop.
December 2020.
A whole year.
A year and a month, actually.
But I do agree with you, actually.
I was long done with that client. I'm like, are y'all crazy?
Yeah.
Like, who needs to get ratched? Me or you? Because somebody needs to get ratched. Like,
we need one hood bitch at the agency.
They know that I will get ratched. When I first started at the agency, I would literally send emails to... This was pre-Manny. I would send emails to Jose and Michael like, so the title would be, do you fucking hate me? That would be the subject. Because you gotta hate me.
I'm listening to this in Eminem's Stan voice. Like,
you have got to fucking hate me.
No, you have to.
Not care that I haven't been paid. Like, my well-being, my welfare. Like, I'm so confused. Like, and if I'm like, oh, this hasn't been paid, like, and then the leniency or like the lackadaisicalness. I think I just made up a word adding this to it, but that lack of urgency when I'm like, hey, where's this money?
Right.
And you're like, oh, we're still like looking for it. Then a week later, I'm like, hey, where's this money? And they're like, oh, still looking for it. Haven't heard from anybody. I'm like, yo, obviously, if I keep fucking asking you for this money, it's because I need this money for whatever it may be.
But here's the thing, even if you didn't need the money, I clearly have to follow up because you're not even giving, it's not even that I don't believe that you're not following up, but you're not telling me that you're following up. It's not like, yo, Amber, I'm checking in, letting you know, I reached out to these people, they still playing games, we're gonna get legal. One time Michael was like, he had to respond to somebody and was like, okay, cause someone CC legal, and then all of a sudden people pay me. And I'm like, can we do that all the time, by the way? Because niggas still don't be paying me.
Literally, like you, and I understand, I definitely understand from the agent or the manager or whoever that middle person is, or even if you are representing yourself, right? Like, even if you're the one doing the talks and the invoicing yourself, I understand you don't want to. I used to understand that you don't want to piss off that client. You don't want to seem difficult or whatever so that they don't not come back to you. Like, I get that.
Why would you want them back?
But also, that's what I was about to say. But I also came to a point where I would be like, yo, I don't give a fuck if they are mad. Don't come back. Don't come back. Yeah. I don't need you to come back. If I'm going to still, like, what's the point? If you didn't pay me on time, or if you haven't paid me in a timely fashion and I'm still scrounging up pennies to make ends meet to like, I don't know, pay rent, buy food at Trader Joe's. Like, if I can't fucking do that, like, why would I want you back? I don't want you back. Please don't come back. Leave me alone.
And the thing about it is that when you're an artist, it's already like hard on you to decide to make that a career. That's A. And then B, A and B. And then B, the likelihood of us making a living as an artist is only in a major city. And in a major city, the bills is billing.
Like, the bills are billing. I mean, you could make it as an artist in a non-major city. Let's not.
I'm not saying you can't, but
it would not in a celebrity, like not in a celebrity manner or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could make it in a different kind of way, but
for sure, Brian.
Yeah,
but then
I used to tell my family, I used to tell my sister all the time, and friends, shit, actually, because like I said, like, fresh out of college, I went to New York to be a makeup artist. Like, I didn't do any of that other shit. So all my friends that had jobs, and they would be like, oh, we're going here on this trip. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing that. And I'd be like, oh, y'all have fun. And they would just think I was being like antisocial, or like, oh, Amber thinks she too cool, or like whatever like that. When in all actuality, it was like, y'all don't realize I'm broke, bitch. I don't got it. Right. You think I'm about to plan a trip with you, bitch, and I'm trying to figure out my basic necessities? Like, that's not going to happen. It's not going to fucking happen, like, at all. plan a trip with you this many months in advance when I know good and damn well I don't know how I'm going to eat in that month. Like, that's stupid. And I think more people around artists should be sensitive to that fact, right? I know you guys are like, oh, they're like having fun. Oh, your job is so fun. Like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah. They think we're already loaded. That's how they think.
Or they don't give a fuck. They don't think about that. They don't think that we're loaded. They're like, this bitch is having fun and I have to go to my job where I don't have fun. She gets paid to have fun. So it doesn't matter what she's getting paid. She's having fun. Like, duh. Right. Like, how could you dare?
They don't rubbing elbows with this person.
Loaded, she's like, you know what I'm saying?
Excellent
it's like,
point, bro. Yeah.
It's like, no, girl, I'm stressed.
Yeah. Right. Like, I chose fun and look where I'm at.
I'm fucking stressed. Like, let's not. No, like, you know what's not fun? You want to know, like, the mental fucking mind fuck of being in the room full of people with all their money and you know you have none?
Yes.
You're in a room full of billionaires doing your job, pretending like everything's okay when, like,
trying to relate to them. Also
trying to relate and while all the while, like, the fuck, my sister just had to cash at me $10 to get on the train.
Yeah.
That's fun. Like, that's not like, I don't like people don't get it. They don't get that part. Like, they don't get that there's like, I mean, there's good shit and silly shit to both sides of the things.
Absolutely.
Like, absolutely. And I think creatives, people just naturally think that, like, creatives are just out here like, woo, having fun, like spending it like dang, like, you know, I'm like, no, that's not it. Shit is stressful. And I used to tell my sister and my friends all the time, you see the celebrities I'm working with, right? I know you understand, like, if you see me working with that person or whatever, like, yes, in your head, oh, she's maybe making nearly as much as them or whatever or what have you.
Right.
I was like, think about how fucking far or how much that celebrity had to do to get to that point for you to give a fuck about that celebrity, right? So look at me as the equivalent. I had to do the same amount of shit as them, damn near, except one, the payoff is not as paid off.
Yep.
And two, like, I'm the bitch behind the scenes. Like, so please look at me like that. Look at me like I'm a fucking rapper grinding bitch, okay? And not like
I'm a SoundCloud artist.
Yeah, like, don't fucking look at me like I'm somebody over here, bitch. Like, no. I'm literally doing the same shit they're doing. Like, this job is just as obscure to get to this level for me as it is for them. And so that extra weight and that extra whatever that comes from outside niggas. Yeah. Relax.
Can I just add a funny aspirational thing, I guess, speaking of what it takes for celebrities to get to that point? So I've been working with Ed again. Ed is back in New York for the next 9 months. So this is
Ed Sheeran, guys.
Ed Sheeran, Big Pop Daddy. I call him, what is it? Papa Star.
What?
Because you're not just a pop star because he's got 2 kids. Papa Star. But he, the level of wealth I aspire to is kind of Ed's because this nigga was sending pranks. Okay, first of all, the level I aspire to is already okay. Like, you know how like Kris Jenner and how people like have gone ham for Halloween. Like the level of, first of all, like the level of
like you did,
right? Period. Because the level that I aspire to is to like really take it there for Halloween every year because that is like the epitome of disposable income. That is like the Heidi Klum's party is like the epitome of I have mad fucking fuck you money because I'm spending money on some bullshit. Like, right? But on top of that, so Ed, right? It was like how, you know how like when you go to the museum and they have like these like fake dinosaurs that are like, you know, like models, right? But they're like huge. Yeah. This nigga sent somebody a fake Stegosaurus as a prank.
Why? Just cause.
And I was like, that's goals, my nigga. Like, you know how mad you would be about some of the Stegosaurus to your house? He said his friend was so mad because he had to go and get a forklift. He said some big ass. And when I say big ass Stegosaurus, I'm literally talking about like Museum of Natural History, big ass Stegosaurus.
I can't. I can't. I mean, that's literally like, who was
That's
it?
the level of rich I want to be. How about this? You want to hear some funny shit? I'm waiting on a check, right? This is the first time in my whole career I've ever heard of this, right? So the publicist of this client that I have had a full rate because the client didn't want hair. So they gave me the full rate, right? That's normal. Okay. So I got paid one day from the job, but I'm like so psycho. I have like Excel spreadsheet of like what day I did this job, whatever. And I'm like, this job was supposed to be this amount of money, right? So I hit Michael and them, and I'm like, did you give them like a 50% off coupon, nigga? Like, why didn't they pay the rate? So he's like, oh, I'm gonna investigate, blah blah blah. Mind you, actually, I gotta find out. Mind you, this job was like probably the top of this year. It was before she left to go to LA for like the summer when her show was off. Yo, bro, they have paid me half of that money and they swear they're paying it again. They have yet to pay me. That is like about to be, I don't even know. It might even be longer than a year. I don't even think it's January.
I did a job. I did a show. A client was on a show. And when the payment came through, I was like, wasn't the rate this amount? And Jose was like, huh? Wait. He was like, wait a minute. And then we brought in Brett and she's like, wait a minute. And then they were like, oh yeah, wait. Oh yeah, we just reached out to production. They said they bad. They gonna send in. I was like, how?
Nigga said they bad.
Whoops. How did y'all just decide y'all were gonna pay me like $2,000 shorter than the fucking rate? Like, where did you even come up with this number at, girl?
Right.
And then it took them months. It took them months to pay the rest of the months.
No.
And it took months. Oh my God. It literally took months. Yes.
Oh, that's where I'm at with it. I don't even know when I'm going to see that fucking half of that. I just got it,
actually.
Stop it. No, Amber.
Like in September. This was for something I did in March or April.
You know what sucks though is like people that are emerging into the industry, like they are probably not able to have that same access to publicists and like PR firms to like send them product, for example. So like, unless they have a lot of followers and people reach out to them, they're also paying for their makeup and their tools and their, you know, whatever. And like, cause like tools probably don't always give us discount anyway. Cause they're like, look, all you niggas need it. But like makeup products, they'll like give us industry discounts, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing is, even if you get a discount, you still gotta, I went to Mac the other day when I probably could have just reached out to them, but I didn't want to wait 3 weeks for certain things that I needed. And that's been $250 after my pro discount. So imagine like trying to restock your kit for real, or like, you know, like, and then still, huh?
I was about to say, the girls really be spending money. Absolutely.
The girls be spending money.
Yeah. But we got like Nigel's here, Namies. You get a
I have a Nigel discount, but you can buy it online, but then they charge for shipping, so it's kind of not worth it. Actually, great point though. I'm going to definitely see Nigel's when we when I come
they have like the artist discount or whatever, which makes it a little bit better. But yeah, it's definitely tricky.
What about stylists? I know you have a lot of friends that are stylists.
That's definitely, we should probably get a stylist on here to talk about that. But that's a whole new world. Right. I don't know. I mean, I know that in the industry, period, we all have the same. We all complain about people taking too long to pay us, blah, 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 like this and that. Sure. But my stylist friends, even in the beginning, they could still like finesse a girl to give them a deposit, because it would be like, oh, well, I'm going to need this much for the prep day because, you know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Some showrooms you have to pay a fee, or like you have to put down money or something like that. So yeah, they can kind of finesse like a little, you know, like they might be able to finesse something up front, essentially. Yeah. Or especially like stylists, depending on what it is, they might get paid per look. So I'm not going to play with you with your money, because I'm going to need all my looks when the function comes. You know what I'm saying? Whereas us is like...
Yeah, well, because the thing is, well, we'll definitely get a stylist on, but the only thing I will say is in the perspective to give people that only do makeup, for example, is like, or hair that listen to us, is that a stylist has a prep day or several prep days to like pull the clothes, go to showrooms, order things, etc. Then they have a fitting. That's day 2. And the fitting doesn't have to be necessarily the event day. Then it's the event day, which they can maybe have some flexibility, send in an assistant, but they still got to pay their assistant. And then they have the return day where they got to return everything and all the things. And like, that's like 4+ days of work. So like,
for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, and that is just, imagine just starting. I don't know. We definitely need a stylist on it to give us some insight on that.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, because just starting, you don't have an assistant. So you're doing all that by yourself. Also, people probably aren't paying you for all those days, or they're not going to pay you a max out. Like once you get to a certain level, you have assistants to do all that. Micah and Wayman are not fucking picking up and dropping shit off.
No, of course not. Of course not. I'm just giving like, the scope of like the general.
No, but I'm saying like a beginner as opposed to like someone with a team, like an established situation, like is definitely very different. But you know, with a stylist, you have to grow those contacts. Whereas we have to grow, like, yes, I think it's important as anyone in the industry, hair, makeup, whatever, it's important to make contacts with brands and things like that, just because, to go back to what you were saying about re-upping on your kit and stuff like that, like, even if you don't have a lot of followers, if you get a relationship with a brand, then they will fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, long before I had a few followers, long before I had, a little verification, like brands would fuck with me because I would fuck with them, like, and I have friends, don't get me wrong. I have friends that are not that active on social media, but brands will absolutely send them shit because they do real things. And so they're like, here you go. And because they established a relationship with them. And then I have friends that are all over the internet. Okay. They are really trying to be on their influencer shit. And they be in my DMs like, hey, do you have a PR contact here? And I'm like, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. And I'll be lying when I say don't. I really don't. Like, at this point, it's either the agency's contact or they're reaching out directly. Yeah. In 2022, people are reaching out direct. You can really do a lot of this on your own. You can also reach out. You might live in their request.
No, but
but social media people for brands, they do, like, they're active. They're checking, like, they'll they'll see that shit. And if they fuck with you and what you do, then they'll fuck with you and what you do. Not all the brands are clout chasing for girls that have tons of followers and are on YouTube. Like, not all brands are doing that. Some are actually just like, oh, we like you. We like your work.
We like the client you're going to work with.
We like who you work with. We like what publication you're going to be in. Like, I started reaching out to brands. The very first editorial I booked on, I was like, ooh. How do I reach out to brands? Who do I reach out to? Like, what do I do first? Like, what's going to be this email? Like, I was like, you guys want credit? Watch this. Watch me get it going. Like, what? I had all type of people sending me shit, bro. So, I mean, you just also have to have, I feel like, initiative too. Yeah,
you have to have initiative, and you have to say the right things in those messages, because in my opinion, based on the scope of like makeup artists, influencers, obviously I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have like, my shit didn't narrow down to a K. Like, and I remember, like, I mean, I've done a lot of big people, so I'll say I'm working with this person, but especially Jessie, bitch, I done got a whole new face bundle, bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, people
use it on them. Yeah.
People, brands, it's also usually, I mean, unless you are very consciously like trying to be like a YouTuber or influencer or whatever, like if you're just the artist trying to get the contacts and whatever, they give a fuck about who you work with. They don't give a shit about you. If you're working with someone that they care about, then they're going to give you all the things. Like, or if you're working with someone, and that's also, I think, a good point. Reach out to brands that are aligned with the things that you're trying to reach out for. Like, don't reach out to MAC asking for eyeliners and highlighters and you're working with a dude. You know what I'm saying? You're working with 2 Chainz. Like, I'm not sending that to you. What are you doing? You're lying to me. Yeah. You know, like, so you 100%. Also have to kind of like keep that in mind. And yeah, honestly, just like pay people.
Well, first of all, pay people. I hope that all the brands are listening. I don't know. And what I will say is that if you are not signed with
the networks are listening. I hope the publications are listening. The brands actually do pay people on time. I've gotten paid for a post way faster than I've gotten paid working with any type of fucking client.
That's fair. I've gotten paid faster from, no, I'm lying. That's debatable.
I've gotten paid much faster. What brands?
I'm working with the wrong niggas.
Brands, I've heard, seen with my own eyes, brands pay people before the work is done.
Let me tell you something. The only brand, even though it's them that I work with, that pay me, bitch, before fucking net 15 is Fear of God. What?
Shout out to Jerry.
They be in town. I'll be like this. Yes. Hey, what y'all need?
Shouts out to Jerry in the building.
Shouts out to Jerry and Desiree, his wife, who I love very dearly.
Desiree, shouts out to sis too. She's from Chicago. Shouts out to her.
Shout out to all of them. But what I will say is that if you are not signed with an agency and you don't deal with the net, or you deal with the net 30, and you're not signed with an agency, because everybody's deal memos and contracts are different. What I will say that I have incorporated in my contract that I use outside of the agency is in my terms and conditions. Not that it matters, but for my own peace of mind, I have like a late fee. I say like any day past 30 days, because I'm in New York. Brittany is in New York. The agency's not in New York, but Brittany's in New York. So anything past 30 days is a 20% late fee. Huh?
They have an office in New York.
No, but that's not probably where their like LLC is registered. Or whatever. They're S Corp or fucking who knows what their shit is. But they're not like their corporation is not based in New York, so they don't have to abide by those rules. You know what I mean? So I'm like, but Brittany, Crash and Blend LLC, nigga. Pay up. Yeah. And so I will say a few times I've been able to flex that. And like, hey, if you haven't noticed, in bold print in my terms and conditions, it says that this is 20% additional fee. And someone paid it before. And I've never worked with them again, but I don't give a fuck, because I've worked with them several times and they waited very long to pay me. And I was like, and it was also a stressful job, which is why I was more demanding about my pay. Because I was like, this was also like not fun at all. Like, y'all need to pay me. And so like even for brides, like all of the things, like I think like I wish that we were able to be a part of this like contractual process, but we're not being signed. But you can kind of give your terms, and I mean, again, unless your dad's a lawyer, like you're probably not going to take Revlon to court for $1,500, but you have the, you know.
I just want people to pay niggas on time. That's all I want. Like, I don't need any of this extra shit. Like, you know, maybe this episode will help y'all see that y'all need to pay people on time. Just anytime you're doing something with a freelancer or whatever, and you're like, I'll pay them later. Just think about literally put yourself in that person's position. We have bills due every 30 days.
Yeah.
We have things that we need to pay all the time. I moved to LA from New York with so much fucking debt from New York that it took me, when I moved here in 2018, it took me like thank God 2020 was a fucking standout year for me. No shade financially. It took me 2 years and some change to get myself rid of all that debt.
Oh, that's awful, babe.
Like, that is fucked up when all I was just trying to do was like make a living. Like, I was just trying to make niggas cute. And I left with all this fucking debt because people don't give a fuck about nobody else. Like, you're not even thinking, like, you don't get me wrong, I don't give a fuck about most people either. But when it comes to money,
well, no, but it's the juxtaposition
when it comes to money,
right?
I am gonna make sure that I am not fucking with someone's money, because that's rude as fuck. Like, that shit is rude.
But it's the juxtaposition of like providing a luxury service and not being given luxury treatment as far as payment. And
Correct.
or just basic basic life.
Also because it's a luxury.
Yeah, getting your makeup done is a luxury.
I mean, we were deemed essential workers in 2020 in LA at least, but it
not me, baby girl.
It's not. Well, you know, we're in the land of TV and film, so we were essential.
No, of course.
It's not. It's a luxury. Yeah, it's a luxury, girl. Like dead ass. What if I showed up to location 40 days late? You would never
even 40 minutes late. Imagine that. Like I show up on time, I deliver. I fucking give the client a good experience. I give y'all niggas a good experience. This bitch looks great, or guy, or whoever looks great in front of the camera. We're done. Especially when it's looks that are driven or shoots or whatever, driven by the makeup. That's when I get upset. Like right now, I'm literally waiting for a check that was out of pocket. It was like a homie threw or whatever. And I haven't got paid yet. I'm trying not to get mad because it's like a friend of a friend. But I'm like, this look was, I transformed this girl every look for her brand as a musician. So like, as far as I'm concerned, I need to get paid. I mean, I need to get paid anyway. But it's not like I was just in there fucking doing nothing.
You weren't doing like a little bit, like you were like working.
A lot of it.
Yeah, no, that's no. Also, nobody cares about your credit. Nobody cares about the fucking exposure. Exposure pays 0 fucking bills. My landlord does not care about what I am exposed to. Okay. My phone company, like none of those things. Nobody gives a shit about where my name was printed in the fucking credits, bro. I wish I could take that and use it as credit, but I cannot. So again, just pay people.
I think, and I've always been, period, just pay people. I feel like I've always been really passionate about it. But once I had kids for real, Amber, like that shit fucked me up because I was like, oh, I don't have like you need to have like mad money in the bank. And I think that like brands or like people or companies or corporations, whatever, I think they just assume that people that choose to freelance are like they already got it like that. Huh?
Come from money.
Yeah, they think that this is a hobby that turned into some, like we make some chicken on the side. Like, nah, bro. Like I decided as a first generation poor person or million generation poor person that this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be happy at least if I'm going to be doing something, but I'm definitely not going to be happy making someone else look beautiful and then not fucking getting paid for it, bitch. You got me fucked up.
I mean, it literally goes back to what I was saying earlier, which is like, y'all look at this shit like it's like, oh, they're having fun. To go back to you saying a hobby is, you're looking like, oh, she has fun. She gets to go to work in her fucking Vivian wig. Of course. Yes. Like, we don't have to pay this bitch on time. She's having the time of her life. She's like around, you know, this person or that person. And like,
God forbid we get to party with them after.
Concert, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't let it be someone performing. Like, oh, you got to go to a free concert. And it's like, yeah, bitch, but you know what I would have liked to have done? Got paid.
And not only that, but they don't realize there's still stress attached to that.
Yeah, because I'm at work.
Yeah, exactly. I'm at work and I'm dealing with a mega personality. And obviously it's likely that they're nice, but it could be likely that they're not nice.
It's not likely.
It's not, well, for me, you know what's so funny? Ed asked me, and I wish that I could have FaceTimed you in that moment. We were all joking about like celebrities that were like dickheads or whatever, right? And he asked me like, all right, right now, what's your worst client? And I was like,
You're like, it was a model. I don't know. It was a model.
Shout out to him. I don't know. And he and I were dying because I was just like, I only gave him one person who like, she wasn't mean to me. I was like, literally, you asked me that question and 20 minutes later, I obviously must have had someone difficult, but whoever they were, they might have been D-list. Like, first of all, any celebrity that's been mean to me is probably like.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, the meanest person is, like I said, she's not even famous anymore. Like the person that was like the nastiest to me, and she was like the first person I worked with. So it was whatever. I wasn't even paid. Like I was just happy to be there, child. But
yeah.
No, yeah, the nastiest people are usually the ones that have nothing to offer. Like
Nothing.
actual real celebrities, like with talent.
Yes.
And with like an actual reason why they're famous.
Yep.
Are some of the kindest people you'll fucking ever meet, bro. Like they be mad chill.
Mm-hmm.
And regular.
I agree with that. Like literally regular. That's why I was in that paparazzi photo, bitch, because I be forgetting.
I cannot.
I forget Ed is a mega star. I'm not joking, because he's so, and that's a compliment to him. He is so chill. Yeah. And he's like, you know what I'm saying? He really is like the homie. Like he's so chill. So I be forgetting.
He's still Ed Sheeran. You guys didn't grow up together.
Babe, I know.
It's a white guy with red hair. I'm sure you shouldn't. Still Ed Sheeran. I'm literally like, no, like, no, what? Like, I've literally just been like, it is, you know, like me and Travel going like some crazy, like such random conversations. You know what I'm saying? He starts talking about random stuff all the time. I'm sure you can imagine. And it will be like talking, but at no point am I like, I forgot I was talking to Travis. No. Like when we hop out the trailer to go to whatever, like I wouldn't be shocked if paparazzi was there, because I'm like, well, right, I'm with Travis Scott.
I'm genuinely shocked. You know why though? Because and you know what it is? Maybe because, okay, so when I'm with celebrities and we're working and we're doing touch-ups and so I'm with them, in New York, it's not that it's not a big deal, but it's kind of not as much of a big deal. Like, I don't feel like people are okay. After a show that they're performing or whatever. Okay, no. Okay, so for example, let's make it easy, right? So when Jesse does the play, every night after the play, there's like a mob outside. But that's because it's after the play. Correct. But I'm not used. These niggas was getting Ed just like we wasn't like. You understand what I'm trying to say? We weren't like...
I don't, because the whole time I lived in New York, every single fucking client I had, there was paparazzi after we left everywhere. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Revisiting. I literally, today, I was like, I'm Googling every event that I've worked with Ed, and I need to make sure I'm not in the trenches, bitch.
I'm like, I'm
traumatized.
Every press run, like that, most celebrities I'm with. In New York.
And that's another thing.
Sure. Not in here. That is actually... No, that does not happen here like that.
What?
Unless I've never gotten somebody ready for an event and went with them to an event. So if they were going to an event, yeah, of course it's paparazzi. Like if they're getting ready for a red carpet, but like just us working here, no, there's no paparazzi outside of studios. Like,
girl,
outside of sets. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Absolutely not. No, Brittany.
Babe,
no, I've had way more paparazzi people. That is New York. Like they be outside of every single fucking stop, bro. Every stop. Here, no, because here, you're probably going to a studio. Like, no.
I honestly, it put my head up. And you know what's more funny about it is that like later that day, like I had a little bit of a break, so Rob and I went and got a drink, and nigga, I was like, wow, I'm sick right now. Like, this wasn't even a fit that I was trying to get photographed.
I can't.
I just thought I was going to chill.
I can't.
Yeah, it was the whole thing.
Well, look, we're spiraling. Anyway, we're going past the 30 days and shit. Let's put a bow on this. Amber's done. She's wrapped it up. The pre-workout wore off hours ago. I don't know if y'all noticed that when her levels of energy went down. She's gone. She's up out of here. This is A. I am Amber.
I'm B. I'm Brittany.
And I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I'm seeing my way out. See y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.